About 45 years ago, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, when my mother was 7 months pregnant with me, her stomach turned entirely black. The doctors told her I would very likely be stillborn. But a couple of weeks before her due date, my mother had a dream. In it, she had a conversation with a woman dressed in blue and white. This woman said to her, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay. You're actually going to have a daughter. Her name is Alexandra, and she is going to go on to do remarkable things, because that is her destiny." As devout Catholics, my parents felt their prayers had been answered by my safe delivery into the world. They felt a tremendous responsibility to pay back this miracle by giving me every opportunity to succeed. So when I was just 3 months old, my parents moved to the US and left me in the care of my beloved grandmother, Mommy Claire, who, by the way, celebrated her 101st birthday earlier this year. Mommy Claire explained their absence as ensuring opportunities for my success. Success, she explained, meant that I had to do well. I had to do well in school to honor this amazing sacrifice and to fulfill this amazing destiny. At the age of 7, I was reunited with my parents and my younger sister in inner city Boston. Both of my parents worked multiple jobs to ensure my success and the success of my younger sister. And that, for them, meant sending us to Catholic school. My job in return was to do well, and it was to go to college. But since neither of my parents had been to college, it was this abstract thing we talked about, but we didn't fully understand. And then one day, when I was in the 7th grade, my mom overheard a conversation that a group of doctors were having at the hospital where she worked. And she came running home and said, okay, I got it. You have to go to this thing called an Ivy League. And you have to go to this place called Dartmouth. And that's exactly how the dream of a specific college was born. It was through that overheard conversation in the emergency room of Carney Hospital in Dorchester, Massachusetts, where my mother worked as a phlebotomist. So I worked really hard. I graduated at the top of my class in high school. I still remember when those college acceptance letters came. And when the one from Dartmouth came, obviously we realized it was pronounced Dartmouth by that point, we treated the moment almost as if we had won the lottery. And we assumed that the most difficult part of the journey was behind us. Boy, were we wrong. So I went to Dartmouth sight unseen. I had never been on a college campus before. I had never even been allowed to sleep at someone's house who wasn't family. We traveled in a caravan, 10 cars deep, that included my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my younger sister, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my entire family. Because I was the first person to embark on this journey. They all wanted to be a part of it. So my roommate was from Connecticut. She had brought a TV, a VCR, an illegal crock pot, an extra fridge, and all of these decorations for our room. I traveled to Hanover with my bed sheets and my clothes. As my mom and I tried to stretch my twin-sized sheets over the extra long dorm mattress, I looked at her face, and I saw it all set in. For 17 years, we had focused on getting in. We had never discussed the journey after getting in. I completely bombed my freshman year at Dartmouth. Completely. Even though I had a resume that indicated incredible preparation, I struggled with every aspect of college life, from the academic to the social to the emotional and financial. I knew how to summarize a text, but I didn't understand how to have my own point of view or the concept of critical analysis. I knew very complicated concepts of science, but I had no idea how to apply them. I was so ashamed. If I deserved the access I had been granted, why was I struggling? Maybe I didn't belong there after all. At the beginning of my sophomore year, I was academically suspended from Dartmouth and asked to leave so that I could figure things out. I had been hiding my experience from my family the entire time. The weight of disappointing them and admitting that I might fail them, their sacrifices, and the destiny I was meant to fulfill was too much to carry. So rather than tell them the truth, I attempted to take my life. I went home, swallowed a bottle of pills, and woke up in the hospital the next day. They had pumped my stomach to save my life. That day, my greatest fear had been realized: disappointing my family. But something else happened that day. When I was finally honest about all that had been going on, my family still loved me. They still supported me. They still believed in me, and they still believed that I could fulfill this destiny. For me, that's what it took to turn things around. I returned to Dartmouth after 2 semesters off, more determined than ever, and with a new game plan. I went to my professor's office hours. I met regularly with my advisor. I found a mentor. I took a leadership position with the African American Society, and I joined a historically Black sorority focused on public service. I discovered my passion for social justice. I marched for Dartmouth to divest from South Africa. I participated in sit-ins to encourage the institution to hire more faculty of color. I finally felt like I belonged. I found my voice. In sharing my experience with my classmates, I found that others were struggling too. I wasn't alone. After doubling and tripling my course load, I graduated with my class and finished my degree in 4 years. When graduation day arrived, the caravan showed up once again. This time, though, we were 15 cars deep. I will never forget the feeling of walking across to that stage and getting that degree with my family sitting in the audience, much like you are today. We earned that degree, my entire family and I. We did it. We graduated. Unfortunately, so many students who start their college journeys don't graduate. Even though more young people than ever are enrolling in college, by the time they reach their mid-20s, only 9% of students from the lowest income quartile can expect to earn a bachelor's degree versus 77% of their income peers. Think about the gulf between 9% and 77%. I founded Beyond 12 in 2009 to change those statistics. We are currently tracking the progress of over 50,000 students and coaching close to 3,000 students across the country. About a year ago, while we were happy with our early results, I knew that we could do more to improve our model and to achieve impact at scale. The problem, however, unlike our profit counterparts, it was incredibly difficult to fund the R&D that leads to better products and services. Tipping Point made it possible for us to engage in a 6-month R&D process with IDEO, one of the country's leading human-centered design firms. We also worked hand in hand with our students, a team of academic researchers, and a mobile development firm. As a result, we are building a back-end artificial intelligence engine and predictive analytics tool that makes it possible to serve more students better. Equally as meaningful was having a say yes. You deserve this. To grow, you need the same type of resources available to for-profit companies. We can provide you with the capital to dream. Without the benefit of that kind of mindset or support, it would have taken us years to discover what we learned in 6 months. We can't afford to wait, and neither can our students. My story is just one example of the pressure and weight felt by so many first-generation students and students from low-income communities. Of the 20 kids who lived on my block in Boston, only 3 of us graduated from college. Getting students to college is simply not enough. We acknowledge the pressure our students carry as pattern breakers. Many of our students see themselves as the golden ticket out of poverty for their entire families. Beyond 12 is their caravan. As a social entrepreneur who has poured every waking hour I have into Beyond 12, the past few weeks have shaken me to my core. The truth is, it will take more than college degrees to release our country from the grips of racism, sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia, xenophobia, and the other forms of hatred that are now experiencing prime time. However, Beyond 12's core belief that education is the foundation of a just and equitable society rings more true for me today than it ever has. College is as much about the relationships we form and the ideals we develop as it is about the degrees we earn. If we don't support our students through college, their valuable and diverse voices disappear. They disappear from our classrooms, our boardrooms, our political offices, our social agendas, and the cultural fabric of our country. And we need their voices now more than ever. Reflecting back on my personal college journey, I realized that pomp and circumstance wasn't just my graduation march. It was the march of the village and the caravan that raised me. It was the celebration of my perseverance as an individual and our perseverance as a family It was the manifestation of my parents' dream for their firstborn that began the day they left our native Haiti. Pomp and circumstance was magical. All of our students deserve the opportunity to take that walk and experience that magic. I'd like to thank all of you for your investment in making that happen. I also want to thank Tipping Point again on behalf of everybody at Beyond 12, not only for this incredible honor, but for your continued support. Lastly, none of us in this position do this work alone. I have the benefit of having an incredible team, some of whom are here with me today. So as I look out at our table, I just want to say thank you, Chris, Catherine, Laura, and Aaron. I also want to give a special thank you to Beyond 12 board member Renika Kerr, one of our most enthusiastic champions. Thank you all today.